what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe.
Hello everybody. It is July 31st, 2019. And I just got done watching about 30 minutes worth of stupidity and full out retardation on television. And yes, you guessed it. The Democrat presidential debates. Their primary has about 20 some odd candidates. They have to do it in 2 nights. And they are retarded as fuck. I don't know. Anybody can sit there and say, yeah, I gotta vote for that asshole. Or that one. Or that one. That one sounds good. Oh, they're gonna give me all free stuff. How many times these fucking Democrats sit up there in these debates, promise the fucking world, and all you get is to swirl around the toilet bowl for 4 years? Used to say, we voted for Obama to prove we're not racist. Let's not re-elect him to prove we're not morons. Well, we didn't prove we weren't morons, but at least we took Donald Trump, and he is doing great things for our country. And you should hear the stupid shit they talk about, the lies, the half-truths. You know, yes, we've had X amount of months. You know, they say the unemployment rate's been going down. It's been going down for 105 months. But they don't tell you that Obama stopped counting U6 numbers, first of all. U6 numbers are the long-term unemployed. Basically, if you're not collecting unemployment and you're off the unemployment rolls, oh, he's not unemployed anymore. Not working, but they don't consider you unemployed. So, you're off the roll. So it looks like, oh, look, less people are on unemployment, so unemployment must be going down. No, not true. If you counted the U6 numbers, we were like at 15, 20% unemployment. Minorities, much higher. And you could tell that by the 12 million additional food stamp recipients and I forget how many millions of welfare recipients. So, and what's funny is we're at the lowest unemployment rate, counting the U6 numbers, and the Democrat Party doesn't want to cut down on any of the social services like food stamps and welfare, even though we don't need it. What they really want to do is just transfer it over to the illegals that are breaking into our country. Now that's another thing. That's all the Democrats talked about, is how they're going to let all the illegals in. Everybody's going to get everything for free. No one's got to pay for nothing, which isn't true. You know, they're going to tax the shit out of you, and most of the shit they're going to tax you for, you're not going to use or not need. It's not for you. It's for the other guy. You're always getting taxed for the other guy. And I swear to God, they're going to tuck everybody into bed at night. They're going to put a Band-Aid on everybody's wound. They're going to read you a story. You know, Kamala Harris is going to give everybody a fucking hand job. Well, she's been practicing on Willie Brown for how many years, so, you know, stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, though. She's as dumb as a rock, but that Tully Gabbard from Hawaii, she's a pretty lady. Anyway, I'm not going to let her beauty cloud my judgment. And he made, oh, you know, there was 10 obstruction of justice claims that Mueller made. And he said we didn't have the evidence to prosecute. They didn't have the evidence. These are just suggestions. Because he told his cabinet that, what can we do? It wasn't like he said, go fire Mueller. He said, can we convince Rod Rosenstein that this is a conflict of interest of some sort and have him remove Mueller? You know, asking those questions is okay. They are fucking daydreaming if they think that, yeah, you can impeach him. You can impeach him for fucking whatever you want. There's no evidence there. The same evidence that didn't let Mueller come up with charges is going to be the same evidence that is not going to get convicted in the Senate. And they sit there still talking about a Moscow thing. And it's already been proven Moscow had no part in his election. If anything, they were for Hillary because they already had Obama and Hillary doing their bidding. Letting them get our uranium and, you know, tell Putin when I'm reelected I'll have more wiggle room to do whatever they were going to do. And then they talk about, you know, so he had a couple meetings about a Trump Tower in Moscow that never happened. You know, see, they're trying to put the two together as somehow his couple meetings about Trump Tower in Moscow in getting dirt on Hillary Clinton or the Democrats are like one and the same. Now, from what I understand, Hillary Clinton is the only one that bought dirt from the Russians, and it turned out to be fake. You watch in the coming months what happens. It is going to come out that Hillary Clinton and the DNC perpetrated a fraud to try to frame this president. And they're still trying to frame this president. And on top of it, Jerry Nadler has been a thorn in Trump's side for 40 years. His little prick ass sitting in whatever, in New York, whatever, I forget what he was in New York. He was a douchebag. Anytime Trump wanted to do something to improve the city with some construction projects and establishments, he was there to say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, He ended up scaling things down to where nothing exists. See, that's the thing. You got somebody like Donald Trump. He's a fucking self-made man. He does these construction jobs. People work. The unions, they love to talk about, and they love work. People work in these buildings after they're built. So, you know, it improves the community when you have these nice buildings. And there's piece of shit Jerry Nadler making sure New York doesn't fucking progress one bit. Some progressive, huh? Keep New York in the dark ages. Yeah, Jerry Nadler liked it when you were able to get fucking go down 42nd Street and get pills and get your dick sucked. That was his kind of 42nd Street. He was probably pissed off when Giuliani changed it and made it Disneyland, pretty much. Disney owns a lot of Times Square, rather. But, and I think this is just an extension. Donald Trump's advanced. He was a highly regarded citizen, then he becomes president. You know, where's Gerald Nadler? Still sitting on his fat fucking ass in Congress, being a pain in the balls. Not really doing anything constructive for the people of the country, or the people of his district. He never did do anything constructive for the people of his district, or he would have let Trump build a little more. To get these jobs in there, improve the communities. These Democratic pieces of shit, they just want you to be back in the toilet bowl looking up at them for handouts. That's what they want. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be poor, miserable, and looking up from the toilet at them saying, give me something. Make this fucking subsistence in the toilet a little better, please. Give me something that makes the toilet a little more bearable. No, don't flush it. I don't want to start swirling around, because eventually you're going to start swirling around because the Democrats can't help but fuck shit up. And that's how it was. George Bush and the Democrat Congress got us into the fucking toilet, and the Democrats kept us in the fucking toilet. Namely Obama. But I don't leave fucking Republicans nameless. Those fucking establishment prick Republicans, they help keep us in the toilet. And you know what's funny? I heard on Andrew Wilkow, he had an interview with Michael Steele, the RNC chief, or whatever they called that prick. He's still an establishment prick that don't like Donald Trump. And you can hear it in his voice, the thing he says, he espouses the untruths, how he's a racist. Tell me something racist. He said, oh, it's like the way he, no, the way he what? The way he says some people coming from the Mexican border, some are criminals and some are gangbangers. And when he and then that turns into all people coming up from Mexico, all Mexicans are animals and drug dealers. You know, he said the MS-13 were animals, but that was all Mexicans now. You see, they twist. You know what? They'll never play what Trump said. They only tell you what they think he said, or what they want you to interpret what he said. They won't actually play what he said. Because what he said to what they tell you he said is a crock of shit. Everything about the Democrat Party is to take from you. You got more than 2 nickels to rub together, they're taking them and they're giving them to somebody else. They talk about the health care. Oh, we need socialized medicine. We were warned by Ronald Reagan in 1961 when they got their foot in the door with fucking Medicaid. They said they wanted it to be for all the elderly people. It didn't matter your income, didn't matter how, if you had money, insurance, it didn't matter. You were just going to be on it. And there was a reason for that. Because they wanted to get as many people on it as possible to get their foot through the door. And that was one thing that was the opposition was, just give it to the poor people at least at that age. No, give it to everybody. Now see what they want to do? Now they want to extend it to everybody. And if you extend it to everybody, you're going to end up with Ezekiel Manuel's complete live system where you're going to pay your whole working life, and when you're older and you need something, they're going to tell you you're not really a contributor to the country anymore. You're not getting shit. Here's a couple painkillers. Go home and fucking die. That's basically what the complete live system is. Now, if you have your own private health insurance, when something happens, you get cancer, you need a hip replacement, they're obligated to do that work according to your plan. And if they don't do things according to your plan or try to weasel out of doing it, you have recourse. The government plans, you don't have recourse. They're the end-all be-all. They say, nope, you don't get a new hip, you take some painkillers, that's what you get. There's no appeal for the government. And that's the kind of shit they want to attach us to. And I say, fuck you. If Trump doesn't win this election, we get what we deserve. And I'll tell you what, if I have to do it, I'll go on a one-man tax revolt. I will not pay for a government system that's going to fuck me over like they're going to. See how they like it? They tell you they can't go out and catch 11 million illegals and send them home. Let's see how they like to catch 11 million tax deniers, saying, no, we're not funding you. You're unconstitutional. We're not funding you. I'll tell you what, they'll find a way to round up 11 million people in a fucking heartbeat. I guarantee it. So don't hand us this bullshit, you can't do it. But that was the thing. They're going to fucking take all this money and they're going to get it from the rich. And you tell me, you think the rich people, when they see these taxes coming, they're not going to know what to do with their fucking money so they can't get it? Bullshit. It's going to fall on the middle class. The people that have a little more than 2 nickels to rub together, and they're going to take anything over that 2 nickels, and they're going to spend it on the people they perceive to have no nickels. Because the people with no nickels are poor, helpless little babies that don't want to get off their fucking ass and do something. Now, I know people do have bad luck and hard times fall on some, but for the most part, the people they're talking about just don't want to get up off ass and work. And that should not be my problem. People want to go out and go to college and benefit from that fucking education, but they don't want to fucking pay for it. And why is that? Because maybe they're not getting an education that's worth what they're fucking paying. You want to go fucking 18th century lesbian poetry? Well, you're not going to get a job reciting 18th century lesbian poetry. So you know what? your fucking $8 an hour job's gonna have to pay that fucking debt. I don't give a fuck. But if you're in the STEMs, you're gonna get a job that's gonna pay that debt off, and probably rather quickly. At least reasonably quickly. I know some of these debts can be expensive, but you want the education, you pay for the fucking education. Don't put that shit on people like me. I didn't go to fucking college. I'm doing alright for myself. I'm no fucking Rockefeller, not by a damn sight, but I'm not crying about just because the next guy might have a nicer car or a nicer house or a nicer this, nicer that. I hold my own. I'm happy with what I got. I don't need to be greedy. You know, it's a little bit godly just to be humble once in a while. Oh, I don't have what Donald Trump has. No, you know what? Not everybody has what Donald Trump has. Very few people have what Donald Trump has. And either you're going to be a very successful businessman or you're going to be a corrupt fucking Democrat politician. It's the only way to get it. They talk about Donald Trump's the bad guy because he says fucking places like fucking Baltimore are shitholes. But it's not the fault of people like Elijah Cummings that fucking made it and kept it shitholes. That's the part I don't fucking stand. He points something out. He's the bad guy. The people that actually made it to the point where Trump points it out isn't the fucking bad guy. You know what? I'm not pissed off at nobody but the fucking politicians and the citizens of New Jersey for making it the fucking shithole it is. We were fighters of the revolution. We were the bastions of fucking liberty. We were one of the ground zeros for fucking liberty. Battles took place on our fucking soil. The Battle of fucking Trenton, where George Washington finally got the upper hand, beating fucking the Hessians. Well-trained German mercenary soldiers. And now we're a leftist piece of shit, fucking socialist shithole state. What the fuck are we becoming as a nation? Our liberty's gonna be gone soon, and gone for fucking good, if we don't wise up and start electing the correct people to do the job. And I'm not only talking about Donald Trump's. I'm talking about more Mike Lees, more Ted Cruz's, more Louis Gohmert's. People like that. If we don't, might as well just tear up that Constitution and throw it in the toilet where the Democrats want us. Alright, guys. 2 nights of retardation is about all I can stand with the Democrat primaries. But you guys have a good night. And in 2020, we have a chance to make a real big difference. And we ought to hit them hard and get Republican, conservatives, and libertarians into that fucking Congress, into that fucking White House. Keep Trump there. Let's stock the Senate and the Congress. And like I said, conservatives and libertarians. Let's run roughshod over these authoritarian fucking bitches. That's a funny thing, how these Democrats are calling Donald Trump authoritarian. I don't understand. I didn't see him throw anybody in internment camps like FDR did. No citizens were thrown in camps or in prisons. I didn't see, he calls the news fake news. I didn't see him throwing any journalists in jail like Woodrow Wilson did. I didn't see him desegregating the government workforce like Woodrow Wilson did. So I don't see him being very much the authoritarian. Now he's going to get us into war. See? Another thing. He could have bombed Iran. He could have went easily and fucked with Iran and bombed the shit out of them for knocking our drone down, for shooting down an aircraft of ours. What he said, basically, it's not worth 150 lives that he was told by his generals for a fucking, essentially, a robot. So he seems to be very even-handed and shows restraint and common sense for these things, yet he's the one that's going to get us into war. And it's funny, they're talking about his economic policies like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Look at our economy right now. It's on fucking fire. And he's playing hardball with these fucking people that want to get the upper hand and make sure we stay in a trade deficit until they bankrupt us. So he's going after China with tariffs. I understand they think, they talk about it like he's doing that to keep them there, for just to make things more expensive for everybody. No, it's a tactic to get them to back off. Renegotiating NAFTA. These are the fucking morons that got us into the fucking mess we're in financially, with these fucking deficits and the debt we're in. These are the fucking very fucking morons, assholes, fucking traitorous scum that got us in these positions while we elected Donald Trump to begin with. And they sit there bad-mouthing him like he did something wrong. You guys are too fucking stupid to come up with economic policy. And I don't trust you with the economic policy. I don't trust most regular fucking everyday Republicans with the economic policy. The fucking George Bushes and the fucking other establishment pricks that don't know what's going on. They do more damage to our country. I don't understand this idea when you get elected to fucking Congress, all of a sudden you're the know-all of everything. You don't know fucking shit. And most of your fucking constituents know even less. So, if you want to make your brain fucking hurt, watch the fucking Democrat retards on that fucking primary debate. It's fucking ridiculous. How come they all have fucking big pupils like they're all on acid too? With them bright lights in your face, they should have little fucking tiny pupils, but they're all big as saucers like they're fucking tripping their asses off. Something wrong with that picture. Joe Biden don't even look right. I don't know, there's something wrong. They all look like fucking plastic. And when the fucking debate's over, they'll put all them fucking little pricks back in their boxes and leave them on the shelf until they need to be out in public again. Yeah, which guy gonna make fun of Donald Trump? Okay, Donald Trump bad. He racist. Russia. Blah, blah, blah. All right, back in the box you go. Thank you, Corey. Fucking another piece of shit makes New Jersey proud. Make me want to vomit. All right, everybody. You guys have a good night. Do not despair. 2020 will come. We'll kick some motherfucking ass. And then we really get down to business with liberty. Have a good night.